obviously people are going to say you're just trying to populate the earth with more white Christian people.
And everybody says this, and it's literally the exact opposite goal.
Which,
if
by the way, would be great.
That,
I think that would be wonderful, personally. I personally wish you were, and you were successful at it, but I don't think that's what you're doing.
I could do that with just my kids. So if we have 8 kids, right, and we pass our culture on to those 8 kids, and they have 8 kids, and you do that for just 11 generations.
You two have 8 kids?
Well, we want to have 13. We're at 3 now.
How many are you going to have?
We're aiming for a minimum of 7, hopefully.
Really?
Like we use IVF, so we have all the embryos saved. It's just a matter of like,
you two are like out of a Huxley novel. I feel like I'm talking to characters out of Aldous.
Oh, you don't even know. We actually, our daughter who's staring at me sleepily right now, was one of the first babies to be selected using polygenic risk score selection. So for any of your listeners who've watched the movie Gattaca, we're there. You can now select for various traits.
Are you extraterrestrials or are you real people?
We're the next generation of humanity.
Huh? Wait, I want to hear what Simone said. What?
We're humanity 2.0. We represent what the future is going to look like.
Well, you are,
because we're the ones who are early adopters of all of this new tech. We're early adopters of both new cultural and scientific tech in reproduction and in family creation.
You mean you two didn't have children organically?
No. All of our children are produced through IVF, and we selected our daughter's embryo based on a series of risk scores.
Your daughter was selected through what? IVF?
So we did IVF with our daughter, which people have been doing since the 90s, right? But with her embryo.
In vitro fertilization.
In vitro fertilization.
But whose sperm was it?
Malcolm's sperm and my egg. But we had our all of our embryos biopsied, sent to a lab, and that lab sequenced our embryos, which enabled us to look at various polygenic risk scores of those embryos. God. So this means we're able to look at the relative score related to things like cancer, schizophrenia.
Because your mom died a horrible death from cancer. You want to rule out having a child with that risk factor.
Well, we want to reduce the odds that our child develops that form of cancer. And
I hear you. No, it's really out of Brave New World.
It is, and I love that book. But I don't see it as a dystopia. I see it as a utopia.
You are from Brave New World. I love it. I do feel like I'm speaking almost to another dimension with the two of you. I wish we could get together and have a drink together and see what you're really about.
It's on.
Well, this is the great thing about conservatives, right? Progressives want a world where everybody thinks just like them. There is one set of morality
that thought like I did.
Yeah. We conservatives, we want a world where there's a huge diversity of ways of living.
I want more people to think the way I do. Culture. I don't want diversity of thought. Not anymore. I see what it's done to this country. Diversity
our
is
argument
perversity.
On that, though.
You want to talk about Brave New World? I mean, my slogans are great. Diversity is perversity. Orwell would love me.